Bonjour mes amis, it's Alex from the Australian chapter of the New Zealand Alpine Club and Mountaineers Down Under for another snow and alpine conditions update. So before we get into the weather and what's happened in the past week or so and what's going to happen in the next coming week, let's talk about the ice, because we are actually here at Blue Lake and that's what we're all about. So behind me you can see the amphitheatre. The amphitheatre is actually quite a large area. And a lot of the ice and the various routes on it kind of don't really have names at the moment. But for the names that we are trying to kind of instill within the community, we have right up in the corner there a slab. And we actually call that one Mirage Slab because it really only forms early in the season. Once there's a couple of really big storms, it kind of gets buried out, it kind of gets backfilled by snow. But right now, it actually looks kind of good. I'm not going to say the ice is thick up there because, you know, you can kind of see the rock underneath the ice from here. So, you know, it might be worth playing on from a top rope perspective, but I'm not sure you'll be able to place screws up there. We're going to go up there and check it out later. So we'll do a text report via Facebook later on what the conditions are like up there. Below the Mirage Slab, we have another unnamed feature. Once again, really kind of only forms early in the season, but it's good for playing on at the moment. As with all of the ice at the moment, I'm going to ask that everyone actually just be a little bit gentle because it is still very early in the season and things are still very much forming, and we want to try and make sure that it forms into something nice to play on later in the season so it's nice and thick and juicy and you can play screws and all that sort of wonderful stuff. Right now it's still a bit fragile, so just be careful. Try not to smash too much stuff up because we do want it to grow. Over on the right hand side of the amphitheatre we've got now I'm not sure it has a name, but I've been calling it the Fat Lady. It's a large kind of like wall of ice, and it has two kind of like lower grade ramps on either side. That is still very much forming. It's not worth playing on at this moment in time. In fact, like, let it be, let it grow. It can, with good conditions, grow into a fantastic wall of ice and worth climbing later in the season. So maybe stay off that for a little while, but you know, I'm not the boss of you. Over on the right hand side, if you're looking up at the central gully, there is the steps, and unfortunately at this moment in time it's still kind of growing, and I would probably recommend hanging off that and letting that grow a little bit more as well. There is a bit of column growing there, but once again that really has the opportunity, with a couple good you know, snowstorms and right temperatures for melting and growing ice, to really form up into like one of the best climbs here. Way past that is the, you know, the softer area. It's about 45 degrees. I've been calling it the Hanging Gardens because it's just a bunch of like little steps, you know, 1-2 meters, then a little break, little shelf, and 1-2 meters. Nice and soft, great for beginners to get a feel of what it is like to climb on ice. In terms of the weather and what it's been doing down here, we haven't seen a lot of snow in this past week, unfortunately. There's been a little bit here and there, but nothing amazing. Yesterday we had like crazy winds up on the ridge. Wasn't very pleasant at all. Coming in from the south actually, so there was a lot of like rime ice collecting from the south, oddly enough. In this coming week, we have another low pressure system forming over WA, moving across the Great Australian Bight and then moving across over Victoria and the Kosciuszko area. So around Friday, there should be a nice big low, as is always the case. Take these kind of longer term forecasts with a pinch of salt because, you know, they are long term and by their very nature unreliable. After that, there's a high pressure system hanging over Kosciuszko, and that, you know, if that actually comes to fruition and doesn't change with changing forecasts, should make for a great kind of maybe Sunday, Monday, maybe Tuesday. Might make some really good weather out here for playing in the snow. In terms of snow conditions underfoot and the approach up from Guthaga, look, the 80 centimeters that has fallen in the past couple of weeks has really consolidated a lot, so it's actually really supportive at the moment. You can travel quite well on it, and in the morning it's really nice and crusty, so You know, put your crampons on, you can just, you know, walk on it with ease. You're not punching through up to your knees or anything like that. I'm just trying to think, in terms of our approach from Guthaga, we actually took the designated track, the summer track, so that is still in play at the moment. As more snow arrives, that'll be buried over, and you'll find that people just naturally start moving higher up amongst the trees, moving towards Illawong Hut. After Illawong Hut, there's lots of snow right from the bridge all the way up to Pounds Creek Flat and Mount Twynham and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, good travel underfoot at the moment, which is really good, and you're not really sinking into anything or punching through into holes or anything like that. So yeah, anyway, I think that's all I can think of, apart from, and I almost forgot, that I wanted to mention there's an awesome group of people called the Mountain Safety Collective. Now, if you don't know them, Google it. Google Mountain Safety Collective, because they have some fantastic information on what the backcountry conditions are doing. And, you know, the guys that are reporting on the conditions there, they know their stuff. They've done avalanche training and stuff like that over in Canada and elsewhere. So the condition reports that they're providing on their website is really, really good and spot on. So definitely look them up. Great source of information for future trips. Yeah, as always, I think that's it. And, you know, come out here, have some fun, and as always, play safe. Bye.